Copy. I'm watching 6 burn from my location. We're making a stand at Klein W and Tyrone. We are engine 56 only.
All of the trees were gone. Of the 1,500 acres, 1,400 were burned.
Your heart just feels for people like the Flying W Ranch. It's been around forever, a staple. I used to come up here as a kid, and it's gone.
Truly devastating. Can't put it into words of what they all had been through, and then trying to pick them back up and tell them that they can go forward. It was very tough.
It meant a lot to our family. We had been at Flying W Ranch since 1947 when my granddad moved out from Kansas. And my parents started it in 1953. And every day it was day in, day out for, many decades. They just put everything they had into that. And over 8 million people had come to Flying W Ranch throughout those many decades. So it's a worldwide known entity because it has been around for so long and been a blessing to so many people.
It was devastating. I mean, the Waldo Canyon fire itself was a major deal for Colorado Springs. And it was disbelief. Like, I couldn't believe, I would tell my sons that I'm like, that fire won't come over that mountain. I mean, there's an army of firefighters up here, and it won't happen, but it did. And it came down, and then it made the news pretty quick that the whole Flying W got taken out.
What do we do? What do we do? After the fire, I mean, that was a very devastating thing to have happened to our family. There were 4 generations of Old West memorabilia just gone. And it was very devastating at the time, and we didn't know what to do. And there were lots and lots and lots of issues to work through to even get to the point where we could rebuild. It would have been harder not to rebuild than to rebuild. So I happened to be at the Garden of the Gods Club here in Colorado Springs, and they had done something there that I absolutely loved. So I thought, I don't know who I want to work with. I don't really know anybody. And so I just made a call to Art Klein Construction, and they were amazing. Like, I really believe that we're here today because of Art Klein Construction. And no matter what, we were going to make sure this thing was what I wanted and needed. And it was just this constant, tenacious, let's get this done approach. And Art Klein got it done.
So Leanne had called our office and inquired about the services we can provide and what we do. And then initially said she'd like to meet Dave Vanderham and myself out at the site. And of course, Leanne Wolf and Flying W, I knew exactly who that was and heard about the tragedy. So we built the Garden of the Gods Club originally back in 1994. I should say that we rebuilt the Garden of the Gods Club. So we tore down the existing club that was there and then rebuilt it in its entirety in 1994. Since then, we've been very fortunate enough to do several remodels on it. And so we were in the process of I believe our 3rd remodel of going through and just updating and doing some room changes and stuff. And I believe we also did the main dining room and the members dining room. And I believe that's what Leanne started to see is the changes. And then she probably asked who was doing it.
Leanne was great to work with when we were obviously working on the project, and when I was on the project. I got the very great opportunity to actually go up and look at the woods that she had reclamated from the fire out here, which all of the building is covered with that reclamated wood. And we got to go pick it out, which was fun. Also working a little bit of the pre-construction side of things with Dave Vanderham, the project manager, as well as sit in some meetings with Dave Vanderham, the owner, architect, contractor meetings, as well as be on site with helping the superintendent out. It was just overall a great experience working with her. She knew what she wanted and just got to go make it happen.
I'd get discouraged. I'd say, no, that doesn't work. We don't have funding for that. And we just kept at it to make sure this thing got up and running regardless. And we just kept at it. We kept at it, and he was incredibly tenacious with me.
But I just distinctly remember her saying one day, Kevin, I want something new. I don't want anything to compete with the memories of what we had before. I want this to stand on its own and nobody to compete with what we had before. I thought that was, at first I was like, wow, but made all the sense in the world now. We've been fortunate enough to be around Colorado Springs for over 50 years and to work on several different projects. And so we're very proud of that. We've worked on a lot of neat projects within Colorado Springs, but to have the opportunity to work with the Flying W Ranch, a world-renowned organization, to think of, I would come up here as a kid before I even knew what I was going to do or be in construction, and then to be part of the project. And then there's a lot of pride in every project we do, but there's a special spot in my heart for this place, just again because of the Flying W. But then when I'm able to bring my kids up and get to see them watch the show and help the Wolf family continue the legacy of keeping Western shows alive.
Flying W has always had two goals: to keep the Old West alive and to be a blessing to people. That's what my parents did for all those many, many decades. We have no other hope but to keep the Old West alive and to be a blessing to people. And it was this constant give and take. We can't do that. We don't have the funds for that. But Klein Construction just helped us get through all of that. They were incredible, really. They really knew what we were trying to get to, and they knew we did have this budget constraint, and they were very, very helpful. Look at this place, it's incredible. And they just stayed with us until we got it right. But we knew what we needed to have to make it successful in order to run this business. And then Art Klein helped us get the details right.
Anything's possible in construction. That's what I love about construction. Anything's possible. I always like to tell people, when you have an idea and there's something you want to build and you're going along the process and you're getting discouraged, don't give up on your ideas, because there's things that'll weigh in and help direct how the project's going to go. But anything's possible. Anything is possible. That's why I love construction. My dad worked very hard and taught me young that reputation is everything, and money's not everything. Reputation is. We don't build one project and think we're going to retire. We know we got to build every project. We've got to be cognizant to what the owner wants. And if you treat every project like it's your own, he told me you will never have problems, and he has been spot on.
Grandpa started this business 53 years ago, and we wouldn't be here without him and Dad today. It's what we do. They instill the right values in the company.
So every project we do, as I mentioned, my dad taught me reputation is everything. And so if you keep that in the back of your mind and you use that as the foundation, what's the first thing you're going to want to do if you have a business? You're going to want to have quality people. You have to have people that have the same care and desire to treat the owner appropriately and to treat it as their own. If you do that, you're well on your way. Quality projects is what we do. If somebody's going to shortcut something or want something because of budgets that just does not make sense, we're going to build it right. If we do get over budget on something that was not the owner's fault, doesn't mean we start cutting corners. We will finish it. We're going to finish it right, because that reputation becomes a referral down the road. That all leads to a happy owner, a happy client, and that also leads to the very last one. It builds quality relationships over time.
It was very gratifying and very humbling, just to see the process that it took for many years to get actually to build and be a part of it, and just to build that legacy back.
We've risen from the ashes. We have definitely risen from the ashes.
We were honored to be part of the 5-year process of planning, design, and construction, because great legacies don't just survive, they come back stronger. For over 53 years, we've been helping businesses in Colorado rebuild, grow, and thrive, delivering quality projects, quality people, and quality relationships. If you're planning a commercial or residential project, whether it's a new build, renovation, or a comeback store of your own, you don't just need a contractor, you need a partner who sees the bigger picture. Let's talk. Call us today and let's bring your vision to life.